Welcome everyone, this has been delayed for a while, but it's time to go through all the challenges for the hero gear. If I'm being honest, I've had it unlocked for maybe over a month now, all 18 pieces of it. I just had to find time to put this video together. It's a very long video, feel free to use it as a reference for any part that you want to see and just skip around. I'll include timestamps to each ability and weapon in the description, but each one kind of builds off the other, so that might not be the most useful thing. There's a lot to talk about and a lot of clips I wanted to gather and show. First I'll show off all the gear, although you've probably seen it somewhere by now, that is if you haven't earned it yourself by now even. While I go through them, if you're wondering why I'm covering all 9 characters in one video, well, a couple of reasons. I didn't want to drag this out for a long time or make a mini-series out of it or anything. I don't think it deserves that much coverage. I feel like if I made 9 individual videos, I'd be repeating myself and saying the same thing a lot. That's what was kind of happening near the end of the Camo Grind series, and I like to cut out that formulaic part if possible, the intros and outros and the common tips and strategies that apply to every challenge. There's a lot of overlap, and on top of that, I'm also aware that I'm a bit late to the party here. I'm sure there are tons of tip videos out there for these things. I say I'm sure there are, and not I know there are, because I haven't actually seen any. I'm just assuming that they obviously must exist. It's kind of a side topic, but I always try to avoid watching other people's videos that relate to what I make, because that's the only way I can guarantee the ideas I come up with are original. But then again, parallel thinking is a thing, so sometimes it is a good thing to Google ideas to make sure someone else hasn't already done it. Tough to find the balance there sometimes to make sure I'm doing something original, but that's a different topic. I got a few messages asking for hero gear tips and tricks, and well, I suppose I'm honored that you hold my opinion in such high esteem, and I'm happy to share. Alright, the first stage of unlocking the gear, we all know it, it's the same for every character. To get the first 10 items split up and alternating between head and body, you need a total of 800 kills, and I hope I don't need to tell you how to get kills in a Call of Duty game. You know, you use the guns, you shoot the people, it's a fun time. A game mode like Domination or Hardpoint keeps the kills flowing. Pretty much anything but search and destroy for obvious reasons that would take a really long time. Once you're done that grind, it gets more specific to the character. The headgear deals with your special ability, while the body gear deals with your special weapon. You will need to get 10 and then 20 kills that take advantage of your special ability. Usually there's an in-game medal associated with it to let you know if you got one, like tag and bag for the vision pulse. And then for the body gear, you will need to get 20 and then 40 kills that use your special weapon. I'll definitely be going into more detail on all of this in a bit. I'm not just going to read off the challenges. Anyone can do that, but to finish it off, the last challenge on this row might be the hardest, for some characters at least, where you need to get 2 rapid kills 2 times taking advantage of your ability, and 2 rapid kills that take advantage of your weapon 3 times. After you complete that for every character, the hero gear will unlock, but you don't just get it all right away. There is one more step, and that is for the headgear to get 4 kills using your ability in a single game 4 times, and for the body gear, 6 kills with your special weapon in one game 6 times. That can also be kind of difficult for a couple of the weapons and abilities. Alright, time to circle back to the weapon and ability challenges. First I'll give some general advice that applies to all the characters, then I'll go through them all individually and give a couple tidbits of what I think you should know. First of all, the one obvious thing you could do to generally speed up the process of getting kills with your abilities and weapons is the overclock perk, which makes it charge faster. Very straightforward. You either thought of using overclock or you didn't. To be honest, I didn't even think to use it for the first little while because I forgot it existed. It's a bit of an irrelevant perk most of the time, but it is very directly applicable to these challenges. It will help you get the first 3 here done faster, although if you don't care how fast you complete them, you don't need the perk. It doesn't matter, it just gives you more chances to complete these challenges. You'll be using your ability or weapon more often. However, when you get to the hero gear challenge, that is when you really should be using overclock, because of course it's the only challenge here where it matters how many times you can earn it and use it effectively within one game, as opposed to the other ones which are more complete over time grind type challenges. With something like getting 6 H.I.V.E. kills in one game, being able to have 3 chances with the H.I.V.E. instead of only 2 will make a world of difference, so definitely overclock it up for that. Also relating to charging your ability, remember that score directly translates into earning it faster, so playing the objective, getting kills on Dom flags are like 200 points, getting kills on hard points, and shooting down air support really helps. Rolling thunders are always fun if you have the right weapon. It was a hilarious amount of points back before the individual drone health was buffed. Even with something like the Weevil, you could easily rack up over 1,000 points by shooting at those things. Now you need a better AR or LMG, and you can't get as many of them. It's much more fair now, but you can see I got an easy 600 points there. That would nearly fully charge something like Rejack, and it gets me almost halfway to a Purifier there. Moving on from that, other stuff like stuns and flashes can obviously help you get an easier kill in some scenarios. Smoke grenades on a thermal sight, I love that combination in this game because they made smokes decent again. That can help you get some easy kills for some abilities. And score streaks such as UAVs, counter UAVs, and above all, the Hater will obviously help you along. If someone on my team calls in a Hater, I am activating that weapon right away. It's much easier to kill people when you can predict them coming around a corner, and it's much easier to avoid being killed for obvious reasons. Right here, I call in this Hater, my gravity spikes are fully charged, and I see that 3 people are grouped up right there. I don't even need to visually confirm, I'm pretty much guaranteed at least 2 kills, and I get all 3. And likewise, if an enemy Hater or powerful streak is called in, that would be a bad time to activate your ability or weapon unless you plan on spending it to take out that kill streak, which is effective if you have something like a Scythe or an Annihilator or Tempest, but that isn't very conducive to completing the challenge. Alright, the general and mostly obvious advice is out of the way. Let's go through some unique stuff, starting with Ruin, because why not? We just saw the gravity spikes in action. I was going to say that this is an easy challenge for the double kills and the 6 kills in one game, but I recently realized that isn't necessarily true. I only thought that because I play on Nuketown all the time. Nuketown is really good for completing a lot of the challenges in this game. There are so many things I would recommend Nuketown for if you have it, and getting double kills definitely is a lot easier with so many people being very close together. You can achieve that by playing on a small map like Nuketown or by adding more people to the map via something like Ground War. With Nuketown though, the very predictable spawns help a lot too, so getting double kills, especially with something like the gravity spikes, is a lot easier on Nuketown. Many examples of that being shown here. I will warn you that you cannot kill people right off the spawn because of a couple seconds of protection they have. It shields people from many types of explosive damage, usually like kill streaks, and the gravity spikes do fall under that. So you can see here, I think I was definitely close enough to kill there, but there is a spawn protection in place. Bit of a fail. Nuketown isn't essential though, not everyone has the map and some people may hate playing the map. If that describes you, you can also find success in Ground War domination as previously mentioned, as well as Hardpoint and Safeguard. Hardpoint, of course, has people crowding around in a single area, and you will know when enemies are in that area because the game tells you. And with the help of a UAV or a Hater, you can see where they are in the hardpoint, or you can just run in there and slam the ground without even checking. You're likely to get a couple kills. Depending on the hardpoint, you could even smoke yourself in, throw a couple smoke grenades down, and activate the gravity spikes in the middle of the smoke. All good ideas. I find Safeguard is also a really good mode. Towards the end of the attack round, when your team is escorting, or the beginning if you're defending, people are very likely clumped up around the robot, which is good for double kills and by nature the hero challenge as well. I'm going to be talking about those two as one challenge basically because the same strategies are good for both. If you want 6 kills in one game, then getting double kills is helping you. Safeguard didn't used to be, but is now good for that get kills in one game hero challenge. If you didn't know, it used to be that the hero challenge was very, very hard in round-based games because one round counted as one game, like each half of domination, each side of uplink, safeguard, CTF, all of that. Here's an example where I got 5 kills with the Scythe in one half, then 3 more in round 2, and 8 is definitely greater than 6 if my math is correct, but back then that did not count towards the hero challenge because it was not in the same half, and because of that, the only viable modes used to be Hardpoint and kinda kill confirmed, but they considered that a bug and fixed it. I didn't even know it was a bug, but now round-based games like Domination and Safeguard that tend to run pretty long, especially if there's a Safeguard overtime, which there often is, those are now very viable for the hero challenge. So for gravity spikes, Nuketown is good, kill people off spawn, combine it with Hardpoint or Safeguard, and you'll be good. I'll mostly skip over the Overdrive ability because I think it's very easy. There isn't much to it. You just activate it and try to get kills while it's active. Of course, you can employ good flanking strategies to try to get behind people, maybe sneak up behind a camper before activating it so you have a guaranteed kill, and you don't need to gamble on getting a kill in the next 5 seconds after activating it. Remember that you don't need to be running for the challenge. You could just activate it and camp behind a head glitch. It's a waste of the ability, yeah, and you're less likely to run into someone to kill, but for completing the challenge, it doesn't really matter. That might be a better option than being caught off guard and killed while you're running. I could come up with arbitrary tactics like use dead silence and ghost to sneak up behind people, but you don't need me to design your class. I think you know what perks and guns you like to use, so I will pick up the pace and focus on what I think are the most important challenges. If I ever skip over a challenge you were hoping to hear more about, feel free to leave a comment and ask about anything. Anyway, I think Ruin is a fairly easy specialist overall. Next is Outrider, which I would definitely say is more difficult. The Sparrow compound bow is one of the more skillful specialist weapons. You need to be very comfortable with your sensitivity to hit the nice flick shots. If you're experimenting with new sensitivities, that's a bad time to be using this weapon. The sticky aim will help you, but it only goes so far. I've only used one sensitivity for the whole game so far, so I'm pretty confident in my ability to flick onto a target. Most of what I do is, of course, first play on Nuketown. Nuketown hardpoint or domination is even better. Definitely domination for the hero challenge to get as much time as you can. That's another thing that will apply to pretty much every challenge, so I'll stop mentioning, just keep it in mind. And I like walking around or hanging out behind cover with the bow drawn at all times, so all you have to do is release the trigger to fire. That's definitely better than needing to pull all the way back when you see someone. That will get you killed all the time. You don't always have to pull it all the way back though. As you use it more, you'll get a better feel for how much you have to draw it back in each scenario. The explosion can also often get a kill, but I don't suggest ever relying on that. Aim for the people, don't aim for the ground next to the people. These challenges can take some time depending on how much you like the weapon, and luck. Definitely luck. Don't let yourself get too discouraged by a few fails. I certainly failed a lot, but some of my favorite clips come from this weapon, like this one, where I just earned the Sparrow, I don't want to lose it, I'm getting shot in the back, and I play Nuketown so much that I can visualize him sitting in that corner next to the car, and all it takes is a quick MLG 360 spin to destroy his life. That's a perfect example of the sticky aim helping out. Getting kills with this weapon can be very satisfying. This is another one that I loved. I can see someone around the corner on the radar. This poor guy goes first. I'm waiting for him to make the next move, and he comes around the corner with the gravity spikes active, but I was able to react to time, stop that from happening, and then the arrow goes on to kill another person after that. Quick and easy double kill. Anyway, Sparrow, it is one of the harder weapons, and it might take some time. With the Vision Pulse, I didn't expect this to be as hard as it was, because Vision Pulse is a pretty good ability. It isn't one of the more gimmicky ones like Rejack or whatever that I expected to be difficult. This is Vision Pulse. It's good. Wallhack mode activate, but the challenge isn't super easy because of the limited time you have to take advantage of it. It is a very short window you have to get the tag and bag medal that you need for the challenge to count your kill. Here are two examples of what does not count as a tag and bag medal. You cannot activate your ability and kill someone who is not yet tagged. That does not count. You have to wait for the tag little radius thing to reach them. And then the second guy, I kill him too late. Even though he is tagged and my vision is still black and white, seems like it should be counting, I took too long. This is another time I wasted too much time walking around and this kill did not count. And this one as well. I got that kill before my normal vision returned, but I still didn't get the tag and bag medal. You start to get a feel for how long you have, and it isn't very long. What you should do ideally is find a camper in advance, someone you snuck up behind, and activate your vision pulse, pick up him, and see who else you can get. Go for easy kills. Those first two counted in this clip, the third one did not. What you should not do is kill a camper, then activate your vision pulse and gamble on the fact that you're going to be able to find other people in time, because you probably won't be able to. That was a fail. You don't need to wait until you have a guaranteed kill, of course. It would be hard to get 4 kills in a game that way. Not necessarily, you get it all the time, but for the most part, you should be activating it about when you earn it to try to keep it flowing, keep earning it all the time. Just get yourself into a decent position to do so most of the time. Outside a hard point or something like that, if you know someone's in there, just use the vision pulse. It'll give you a good advantage to win a gunfight, but it's helpful to have some kind of guarantee that an enemy is at least nearby, because you have to run to find someone. You're probably not going to get the medal in time. You can also try to abuse the wall banging potential of this ability with an FMJ weapon, or put some smoke grenades on your class and activate your ability inside one, but that doesn't help with double kills all that much. That is Vision Pulse. It's a pretty good ability, but it requires some careful maneuvering and timing to activate it in the right place at the right time to get the kills that you need for the challenge. Time for Prophet, the first character I unlocked for the Tempest weapon, one of my personal favorites, kind of similar to the Sparrow, in that it is very aim-based, but the chaining effect is fun, especially on a small map or objective game, and I think you can easily find yourself going on tears with this thing. If you know someone's location, you can kind of pre-fire them like these people in the window, and I just knew I was going to get that second kill. Fun stuff. Here's a time where I got all 6 kills in one life. That's another thing about the Tempest. You have a lot of ammo, if you want to call it that. You can kind of spam it a bit and not run out super quick. I even miss a shot. It definitely gives you the potential to get all 6 kills like this. Here I'm missing a ton, but still end up with 3 kills. A couple games like that, and you'll have the challenge in no time. I have tons of clips using this thing, and I guess I won't be using many of them because I don't have a ton to say about this weapon. On to Glitch, which is one of the more awkward abilities to use, although it is quite effective if used correctly. Getting 4 kills in one game is not much of a problem. It is arguably the 2 double kills that is much harder. It's only 2 though, and you will get lucky and complete this without too much wasted time. Just make sure you have a good gun with enough ammo before glitching. Be on the lookout for a scenario where you think you can glitch and find 2 kills. That's very arbitrary, but it can be many things. Remember that glitch doesn't teleport you back based on time, it mostly depends on how far you move. I stood on this flag for a while, but I knew my glitch would teleport me back to about where my guardian was placed, because I wasn't moving much, so when someone started attacking it, I glitched back to defend it. Throwing explosives into an objective like a hardpoint and then glitching back before they explode is another good potential method to complete this, and maybe you get 1 kill with that. You can combine it with a gun kill of your own, but if you're like me and you're trying to complete a lot of challenges, not just the hero gear, you don't need to rush to complete this. After I did the double kills and the hero challenge for profit, I was still only halfway towards the player card challenge that has you get 100 kills after glitching, and because of that challenge I'm going to keep using glitch anyway. So as much as it is dumb advice to hear in a tip video, if you stack the odds in your favor with a map like Nuketown in a good game mode, you will get lucky and complete this eventually without too much of a problem. Next is Battery and her War Machine, which everyone seems to like except me. I hear a lot about how it is the easy noob grenade launcher and something you'd recommend to anyone new to the game. That's what I thought it was at first, but I don't like it at all. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. I think I'm using it wrong. I spam it a lot in the general direction where I think people are, because I don't want to die with it still left. And I often aim for the ground to try to get it, the split grenades to bounce into people. Like here, I feel like he should have died, but that was a complete fail. I think I should be going for more direct impact kills and focusing more on objectives, and that's what I recommend you do. You can see what's happening in some of the clips here. So try to aim more directly for people instead of just spamming it everywhere, or if you're gonna spam it, just do so into an objective. You can always use my ridiculous tactic of running around with a guardian. Fun, but not very practical. That's the War Machine. For Kinetic Armor, there's nothing too special about it when you're approaching the challenge. You could treat it like Ruin's Overdrive. I think it's a comparable amount of time that you have. Just do the same stuff as the other abilities where you try to get into a favorable position before activating it. Same stuff, Nuketown, game modes, etc. And try to get those double kills and 6 kills in one game. You get enough tries with it since it is an ability. It charges up pretty fast. This may be a long video, but that is why I didn't want to make it into 9 videos, because we're clearly speeding up here. A lot of the strategies are very similar, and I would be repeating myself a lot if these were individual videos. Now Seraph, probably the second easiest character overall, I think. The Annihilator is like an easier Sparrow. There's no draw time to worry about, or when you're pulling the arrow back. No projectile traveling time, none of that. Just point and shoot. Back to the comfortable with your sensitivity thing, though. If your flick shots are on point, you can be a god with the Annihilator. Contrary to some belief, there is some sticky aim on consoles to help you aim. I think it's just slightly reduced. Anyway, the double kills and the 6 kills challenge aren't too much trouble in my opinion. You just gotta get a bit lucky, and the more practiced you are with your aim, the faster you'll be done with this challenge, along with a little luck, of course. Then the combat focus, probably the easiest challenge of them all. I could show clips of this all day. All you need is to pick 3 score streaks that are close to each other, preferably low ones to make it easier on yourself. I like the UAV, care package, and counter UAV. They're all within 100 points of each other, so once your ability is charged, all you do is get a few kills or capture an objective or whatever, wait until you're within about 100 points, activate the ability, and then try your best to get that next kill. Usually, 1 is all it takes, or if you can, activate it the split second before capturing a dom flag or any objective to easily collect the points without putting yourself in any danger. Either way, that's 3 easy points towards the challenge. It's so easy that you can do 2 challenges at once. I got the 20 score streaks earn challenge and the earn 2 score streaks rapidly challenge at the same time. Super easy stuff. You don't always have to wait until you're exactly 100 points away either. Like here I was 250 off, but I was approaching an enemy hardpoint and I was confident in myself. Activated it early, and sure enough, 1 hardpoint kill is a quick 425 points. And here I wasn't going for the challenge anymore, I was just using the ability to earn some higher streaks for other challenges, and I was just really confident in this position. This is a great head glitch to hold off for a bit and wait for enemies to spawn. That's a quick 800 points for me. Don't be afraid to activate the ability really early. The ability counts down really slowly. You have a lot of time to use it. It only gets used up in big chunks when you actually earn the score from the ability, so don't worry about the time limit too much. Just don't activate it if you're about to die. So that challenge should be no problem. I think it's a fun one. Now we move to Nomad. He should be called Yes Mad because of how fucking mad you get doing these challenges. Alright, so the H.I.V.E. is a quirky weapon. With double kills, there's a lot of luck involved. You can kind of spam it like crazy towards spawns and towards objectives. Just try not to place the pods too close to each other because you don't want one person to trigger 2 pods. Always keep them kind of spread out if you can. For the 6 kills in one game, You need to have a basic understanding of the strategy, and the rest is a lot of luck. Step 1, quickly deploy all your pods in what seem like good locations, high traffic areas, but keep them somewhat hidden, like on the backside of a wall where someone won't see it until they run around the corner. Spread them all out, and then step 2, stay alive. When you die, the pods will disappear, so you just have to stay alive. If you die and the pods are still deployed in what you think might be good locations, watch the entire kill cam. That will keep the pods around for just a little bit longer. That's something I've been doing since Modern Warfare 2, when I knew I had a claymore planted in a good location. You could watch an entire kill cam and keep it there for just a little bit longer. Got a lot of revenge kills doing that throughout the years. So stay alive and hope. That is where the luck comes in. You need to get lucky and have people pass by your hive pods. You need to hope that not many people on the other team are running engineer or EMP grenades. There isn't much you can do other than choose good positions for the pods and wait and get lucky. You can see your own pods through walls, so you can always check around and see if they're still there, because if some guy with engineer shot all your pods, then you should probably get out and go move on and get another hive and try again. Need I repeat myself some more? Nuketown and other small maps make things easier because predicting enemy movement is easier and things will happen faster. With Rejack, like Glitch, double kills are probably going to be more trouble than getting the 4 kills. Getting 4 kills in one game is kind of annoying, but you earn Rejack so fast that you have so many chances, it isn't that bad. It isn't as frustrating to do, because if you fail, it's like, alright, I'll try again in 40 seconds. It isn't like a hive fail where you deploy everything in the perfect place and then you instantly get killed from nowhere. Like, oh, god damn it, the whole game's ruined now, I don't have a chance. So Rejack double kills, there's a lot of luck involved there too. I do like the suicide method so that you don't have someone staring at you waiting for you to get back up. Covering yourself with smoke is even better so they don't see the signature green cloud. I'm guessing most people figured out that you can suicide into Rejack. It's one of the first things I tested out because that does make it easier in my opinion. It gives you more control over when you activate the ability and start that timer to get the double kill. Although the double kills that I got were mostly just luck based. I don't know how some people are so bad at countering Rejack. I think I'm about 20-0 now on people that use Rejack on me. I've never been killed by someone who used Rejack. It's really easy to counter by listening to the sound cues and getting up close or just spraying into the smoke, but luckily not everyone is that attentive apparently, and it allows for some easy double kills like this one. I'll take what I can get, and best of luck with Nomad. Hopefully you run into people like that. Reaper. We went from super hard mode right back to easy mode. I'll maybe call Reaper the 3rd easiest in my super subjective ranking. We all know the Scythe. Most people would agree it is the most powerful specialist weapon, so getting kills with it is not a big deal. You don't need a special strategy, just post up in a good place and shred everyone you see. Although the drawback is of course the long charge time. Even with overclock and in a long game of domination, you might only earn it 2 times unless you can stop everyone from capturing the middle flag or you're racking up a ton of score. You might get 3, but assuming you only have 2, that's a lot of pressure on those 2 chances. As good as the Scythe is, it's pretty common to pull it out and die or only kill 1 person and get traded out, which can be frustrating. But overall, you shouldn't have much trouble with the Scythe. Even if you run into problems, you're not going to hit a wall and think like, oh, how will I ever get past this challenge? And Psychosis should be even less trouble. Abilities like Psychosis charge super fast. You can see in this, I go from having no charge to a fully charged Psychosis in under 20 seconds with a bit of objective play. You get tons of chances to only get 4 kills in one game. That's not that hard, and there's no gimmick to it like Rejack. You can activate it, and you have tons of time to pick up a couple kills. Even more than Overdrive and Kinetic Armor. I like behaving like the Psychosis drones. Right here, I sprinted around the corner and didn't try to shoot anyone, just pretended to be a bot, and I'd like to think that guy bought it, but he was probably just reloading. Yeah, running around a corner like that is usually a terrible idea, because most people just shoot at the drones regardless of whether or not they think it's the real player. I do think, though, that you should behave somewhat like a drone. Just walk around and be ready to snap onto a player. Don't crouch walk around, don't go prone, don't walk while aiming down your sights. All those things make you super obvious, and you might as well do something to take advantage of the ability. But even if you don't and you just play normally, Psychosis doesn't put you at a huge disadvantage, so just get kills as normal, and you're bound to get a double kill eventually. Not that bad. We're getting down to it with Spectre. In case you were wondering after I said Reaper is the 3rd easiest and Seraph is the 2nd, I would say that Spectre is the 1st easiest because of how easy the Ripper is to earn and use. Every other weapon takes much longer to charge than the abilities, but the Ripper, being the fastest charging special in the game at this time, makes it super easy to rack up 6 kills in a game with, and double kills too. This thing shreds people, just by far the easiest weapon challenge. You have so much time to try and try again if it doesn't work out right away, If you die with it, you keep some charge, you get it back so fast. Then the active camo cloaking ability is very easy too, and very fun. One way people use this is just activating it and running around, seeing if you can maybe get the jump on someone. And that works half the time, but the other times you'll be left in the middle of the map with nothing to show for your efforts because it runs out pretty fast. The way I love using the cloak is to escape a situation or re-peek an angle with an unexpected advantage. When someone knows where I am, something like this clip where I come around the corner, he knows I'm there, and he is going to be watching that corner so hard for any signs of movement. You think that would be a bad time to use it because he'd maybe pick up on the cloaking thing, but something about the tunnel vision you get when you're waiting for someone to move, it's like you sacrifice a level of attention to detail in your vision in favor of pure reaction time, and this works every time I've used it. In this clip, I was kind of hanging around and camping behind this car for a while. Everyone knew I was here. I felt like if I stood up, I would get taken out, but the cloak allows me to reposition more freely. It's like a glitch ability that I'm in way more control of. I find it really fun, and the challenge is easy too, because the From the Shadows medal that you need is kind of the opposite of the Tag and Bag medal. The time window for those feels really short, but for the From the Shadows, it feels too long, which is perfectly fine with me. You can see I got 4 kills here after uncloaking, and you'd think maybe the last one would be too late, and that wouldn't count, but all 4 of those counted towards the challenge. That right there is the 4 kills in one game, never mind all the other times I could have earned it. So Spectre isn't hard in my opinion. If you're having trouble with something like Ripper double kills, for example, I feel like the difference might really be Nuketown, because if you told me I had to go get Ripper double kills on the map Havoc or something, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds pretty tough. The opportunity to do that might be pretty rare. But then I think back to Nuketown, and it's like, oh yeah, that would be really easy. So use it if you have it. Finally, Firebreak. Not a super hard one either. We got over the worst of it with Nomad and somewhat Outrider, maybe Battery. I think those are the 3 worst for me. Firebreak has his awesome Purifier, which has so much ammunition. Well, ammunition, you know what I mean. You can easily go on a tear with this thing, but you could just as easily be shut down due to the poor range and get nothing. I feel like I either get 4 kills or no kills when I use this thing, and for the sake of the video, I'll be showing examples of the former. It's very satisfying to see the points rack up when you burn an entire team at once. In this clip, I got all 6 kills in one go, which you can definitely do with all that ammo, or, I don't know, gasoline oil mixture, napalm perhaps. You just need to be in a good close-range location and catch some people by surprise. Don't be too afraid to just hold down the fire button. I do way better by being a bit carefree with the trigger than trying to conserve ammo and just tap someone and let them burn. Because yes, you only need to get 1 hit to guarantee the kill. That doesn't mean you shouldn't just keep burning them sometimes, even if it's just to cause confusion and obscure their vision. You don't need to conserve ammo. I was pretty wasteful and still got 6 there. And lastly, the Heat Wave, not the greatest ability, but it's fairly simple to pop it and get at least 1 guaranteed kill, unless they're already aiming right at you and manage to kill you. It happens sometimes, but sometimes you'll get lucky and catch 3 people off spawn and destroy them all. That could definitely happen. This is a great hardpoint ability for sure. You can just run right in there and fire off that Heat Wave and clean up what's left. And as an ability, the charge time is great, so by the time I've reached the other side of the map here, I already have another Heat Wave. Double kills will happen with some luck, and the 4 kills in one game is usually no problem at all if you're playing a long game like Domination. There we have all 9 specialist characters, all of the hero gear earned and explained. What a ridiculously long video, despite how long it took to make and watch, I guess. I still think this is better than a bunch of small videos. I wanted this to be made and done with, and hopefully some people find it helpful, even if the advice isn't all super new to you. If you're still on that hero gear grind, perhaps it's just comforting to hear another person talk about it, I don't know. But no more concluding talk needed. This has gone on long enough. Best of luck on the grind. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time.